What is really good, everybody out there? It's your boy, Kenny Caraway, Icecold, K Diddy, Cash Caraway, whatever you want to call me, just call me right. And welcome to the premiere, the pilot episode of Icecold's Corner. Now, a lot of y'all might remember this from back in the MySpace days. What was that, about 15 years ago? When I used to have the blogs, Icecold's Corner. Well, I mean, I like writing, but I like being in front of a camera a whole lot better, so I decided to take it digital, baby. And here I am, the premiere episode of Icecold's Corner, where we're going to talk about mostly sports. I'm going to keep it real. It's mostly a sports show. But hey, you never know what I might talk about. I might get into public affairs situations. I might get into reality TV. Shout out to the Jersey Shore, the situation. You know what I mean? I might get into politics. Shout out to Obama's State of the Union address. You know, you don't know what I might get into, you know. But mostly it's going to be sports. And we're going to get this started off right now with maybe the biggest sports event of the year. Super Bowl 44. We got the Indianapolis Colts against the New Orleans Saints down in Miami. Now let me take it back. Let me take it back. 2 weeks ago, Championship Sunday. We're going to start off with the AFC Championship game. The New York Jets came in playing out of their minds, really. I didn't see them playing that way at all. You know, maybe they get past Cincinnati. I didn't see them beating San Diego. They got me on that. And there they go, going into Indianapolis, where we got Peyton Manning and the Indianapolis Colts trying to get to the second Super Bowl in the last 5 years. Now, they came out doing their thing. New York did. Sanchez, play action fakes. 80 yards to Braylon Edwards. The defense sacking Manning twice. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Am I seeing this? And then after the second series, it looked like Peyton sat back and he said, you know what? I see it. I see where everything's coming from. I see where that blitz is coming from. I see where that coverage is coming from over there. And after that, he was absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. Unstoppable. One of the great performances I've ever seen in my life. Peyton Manning dissecting the New York Jets. And after that second series, it was clear the Jets had absolutely no chance of stopping them. Peyton was willing to score and ready to score as many points as they needed. If they needed 28, he'd score 28. If they needed 68, he was ready to score 68, and he would have done it. Phenomenal job by Peyton Manning. Indianapolis Colts played a phenomenal game, and the defense is very underrated. They played a great game as well in the second half. Then later on, we went to the NFC Championship game against the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints against the Minnesota Vikings. OMG! The Minnesota 12 men in the huddle Vikings. It was a phenomenal game, first of all, by the way. But I love the New Orleans Saints. I really do. I can't lie. I love the Saints. Not as much as the San Francisco 49ers. Let's get that perfectly straight right now. I usually don't do the two-team thing. In this case, I do. But let's keep it all the way real and get it straight. There's only one team that is above all others in my mind in the NFL, and that's the San Francisco 49ers. But back to the NFC Championship game. As much as I love the Saints, the Minnesota Vikings were the better team that day. Oh my goodness. They almost doubled them up in total yards. They dominated the games. They put the ball on the ground 6 times. Recovered 3 of the fumbles, but oh my goodness. 3 fumbles, 2 interceptions by Brett. Aside from all that, you're probably looking at Minnesota Vikings, Indianapolis Colts Super Bowl. But I will say this. The Saints put a whooping on Brett Favre. And maybe that hit in the third quarter where he threw the pick and at the same time got high-load by the New Orleans Saints, ended up messing up his ankle. Maybe that came into effect later on that fateful third down play when Brett Favre probably had about 5 to 10 yards of running room, but just couldn't make that move, didn't want to make that move, didn't want to get hit, I don't know, decided to throw across his body, which is what you don't do as a quarterback. Threw interception, the rest is history. Saints did it. I will say this about the New Orleans Saints that game. They answered pretty much every time Minnesota scored or got a stop. They had the turnovers. I'm the type of guy that says, hey, when you force turnovers, that's somewhat of a skill. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's luck, sometimes it's carelessness by the other team, but it's a skill as well. You're going after the ball. You're attacking the ball. You're going after these turnovers. You're taking chances. So that's what the Saints defense does very good. Let me get on now to Super Bowl 44, a little preview into a prediction. The Indianapolis Colts with Peyton Manning on their side. And you say Peyton Manning, but you forget, like I stated earlier, that defense isn't too bad. They're a bunch of no-names, and I know they're going to take a hit if Freeney can't play. But, hey, they swarm to the ball. They make the necessary stops. They make sure it never gets totally out of hand where Peyton can't do what he has to do, you know. And on the low, like I said, in the second half against that Jets game, they shut them down. And even the week before against Baltimore, they shut them down. So shout out to that Indianapolis Colts defense. Look out for that. I think Peyton is the story now. You know, they say they want to get hit. The Saints want to get hits on Peyton. I don't know if they can, but that may be their only chance. The New Orleans Saints, like I also stated earlier, the defense is not their strength, and I think it can get chewed up by Peyton. But like I said, they make plays. You know, whether it's Sharper making interceptions or it's anybody else forcing fumbles or whatever, they are playmakers on the defensive end. You may march down the field on them, may get about 20 to 21 to 28 points a game on them, but they will make some plays. And that's what they have to be looking for into this game. I think if the Saints are going to win, two things have to happen. It has to be a shootout. It has to be a 34-31 type game. And they have to turn Peyton over 2 times. That's the way they're going to win. My official prediction? You want my official prediction on this game? Man, oh man. New Orleans Saints, Indianapolis Colts. Well, let me say this. Who that nation? Reggie Bush, Drew Brees. All y'all stand up right now. Stand up, baby. Stand up. And take a round of applause for a great year, a great season that you had. But unfortunately, it stops here because when we get to Miami, we got maybe the greatest quarterback in the last 25 years. And one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to go betting against Peyton on this one. I hope the Saints win, but I ain't betting against Peyton on this one. Alvarez, Uncle George, and LC, please forgive me. Don't be mad at me. But the people ask for the truth when they come to me, and that's what I'm here to give them. Indianapolis Colts in a very good game, 31-28 over the New Orleans Saints. That's all we got for this time on Icecold's Corner. Check me. I'm going to try and do this every week. And you know, once we get this football out the way, we're going into my baby. The NBA, college basketball. And you know I'm all over it. All over it. So please be ready for that. Thank you for the time. Thank you for taking the, 8 minutes now to listen to me rant about sports. Holla at your boy, Icecold's Corner. I'll see you 100.